everyday lives, we often go around either school or work discussing things to our peers, friends, or even coworkers. But one of the main things that we do not acknowledge for any of them is their virtual status. Their virtual status is determined by their amount of time spent on things such as their social media. Examples of this would be things like Instagram, Snapchat, or sometimes even Facebook. In that virtual life, we don't know who they can be. Obviously, we can check their profiles, but on first time meeting them, they could be anywhere from really nice person and be really dark on their social media platforms. So how are social media platforms a link to negative influences? Social media platforms are receiving the blame for this problem, as they are almost ingrained into our modern culture in our everyday lives. Everywhere you go, all around us, you'll see people often looking down on their phones like this, reloading their pages, trying to see, what are other people posting? Is there better than mine? Does mine look good, better than theirs? In a study done by the West Virginia Education Association, they found that teens spend almost 6 to 9 hours each day actively checking their social media platforms. Now, this is a significant amount of time each day just spent looking at their phones and comparing themselves to others. So this is huge. Well, the reason this appeals them and the reason they can spend so much time doing this is explained by Margaret Thatcher in her speech to the General Assembly of the UN, where she said, "We all share our common problems and our common burdens, so it is only plausible that we all have our common solutions." And those are the common solutions that they find in these social media platforms. So the way that we can see these negative influences come through to these social media platforms is explained by Edward Kessler in The Social Media Movement of Ideas, where he said, "The anonymous trend in social media, as well as the less personal nature of online communications, make it easier for information to be distorted. As a result of this, teens can often not set apart the good information from the bad information. Therefore, they pick up some of these negative influences." One of the most prominent negative influences that we're seeing today is juuling. Juuling is a new e-cigarette that is found at almost anywhere, and people are often seen as cool or with it when they're performing vape tricks using these devices. And not only are they attaining these followers, but they're hurting themselves inside. So what is our solution? My first solution is to implement filters on social media platforms. Social media platforms can create software where they can add images or record sounding so that computer programs can often run through all the accounts and scan these for these harmful words or images. Therefore, for example, if someone makes a post online and they swear a lot and they're performing things such as pornography, then the software will delete the post and place a ban on that account from posting again in the next 2 or 3 days. The pros and cons of this solution, there's no human labor required. No one has to actively sit there and check, okay, is this good or is this bad? Next, is this good or is this bad? The second pro is that this is a quick-to-action solution. It doesn't take long for them to find graphic images or to program it so the computer can recognize swear words. And the last pro is that they can place bans on the account for repeat offenders. For example, if someone places a video about them swearing a lot and it gets taken down, if they place another one, they keep reposting it, the computer will ban their account and sometimes delete it if it gets harsh enough. The cons of this solution is that it can take a little bit of time to develop the software so that it's more accurate when it's trying to take down these posts. Another con about this accuracy is that it can often not always find all the negative problems with each post. For example, nothing is really perfect. So if someone, for example, says a swear word that the computer doesn't recognize, the post will still be online, but the negative influence will still come to those who try and search it. Another con is the accuracy, where sometimes they post something that's not bad at all, but the computer thinks it said something wrong, and so that post gets taken down. The next solution is to develop software to track social media activity and force the social media users to take breaks. By doing this, the platform will develop a software. So the software will track each social media account and see how long it is actively using the platform. If it's using it for more than a lot of time, say maybe 30 minutes to an hour, the computer will force them off of the platform so they can do something else. The pros and cons of this solution are that the pros that it forces people to take breaks from social media and allows them to be more social. In our daily lives, I'm sure you can see that there's been a steady decrease in the amount of social time that young adolescents are doing as a result of the social media. Whether they be texting them through the platforms or whether they're FaceTiming them is a good alternative. The cons of this is it promotes people to create multiple accounts. They can find a loophole through this. If they have a second account, then they can sign in, they can keep doing this and keep checking, they can keep posting. Another con is it can cause public upset and controversy. Not many people will be very pleased to hear that you have to take a break if you're on it for this amount of time. And a lot of theories have gone out about technology tracking their lives and how they think it's dangerous for them. For example, people have often Googled something and it comes up in their advertisements when they're on Instagram or when they're trying to find something on Amazon. In conclusion, solution one is the better solution. It is able to not use human labor, but still filter these social media posts and take them down without much effort. And it also causes less controversy, which is one of the main problems with solution two. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nikhil. Could you tell me how valid and reliable the sources you used were, and how do you know they were? And did you have any sources that didn't work for you?
I think most of the sources that did not work for me were ones that came from news articles because I couldn't find where they got the data they used it from. Most of the reliable information I used came from either the stimulus material or EBSCO host, where I was able to find peer-reviewed articles in journals.
On what?
On like the studies for like how often they spend on social media.
Okay. And then how does your conclusion respond to any of the research or sources that you looked at?
For example, the source on Margaret Thatcher where it talked about how everyone shares a common solution and the common activity. So if we are all filtering the social media platforms, everyone's thing is taken down. Everyone is on the same page, so no one can post the bad content. Everyone's posting stuff that will not influence any negative problems.
Okay, good, thank you.